Hey friends, welcome to the channel. If you want to see how I, as an introvert, prepare myself for speaking Dutch and that completely for free, you found the right video. Los geht's! My name is Dustin, I'm an IT project manager from Germany. On this channel we create content that helps us to be more productive, to learn new things, especially languages, and to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Today I will show you how to improve your pronunciation, intonation and rhythm of your target language, while at the same time also building up your active vocabulary so that your mind doesn't turn blank when you're trying to speak. For that we will use memorization and shadowing techniques on an EasyDutch video on YouTube. But first we will have a look at active and passive vocabulary and which role it plays in speaking a foreign language. Next I will explain the benefits of such an approach and why it can make sense to focus on just one piece of content at a time, at least if you want to prepare yourself for speaking a foreign language. I got this approach from Language Lords, and if you don't know the channel yet, make sure to check it out. I'll put links into the description and also link it somewhere here. Last but not least, I will walk you through the approach step by step while also doing a live demonstration. Small disclaimer, I use that approach to prepare myself for speaking, while at the same time also consuming massive amounts of comprehensible and compelling input in order to increase my passive vocabulary. But more on that later. But first, a nice sip of coffee. Let's dive into today's topic. In linguistics, the terms active vocabulary and passive vocabulary refer to the words that we know and use on a regular basis versus the words that we understand but do not really use or aren't able to use. So the ability to output and speak or write the language versus the ability to input, that means to read or listen and understand the language. So it's good to have a large passive vocabulary because it allows us to understand a wide variety of different topics. For example, if we have a large passive vocabulary, that might allow us to understand a news article or a scientific paper, even if we don't use those scientific terms ourselves when we are speaking, we can still understand it, and that's pretty powerful. This can be especially useful for learning and engaging with new ideas and concepts. Following this approach, you can build up active vocabulary right from the scratch, or you can activate passive vocabulary that you have studied before as part of consuming comprehensible input. This way it's easier to start speaking at a later stage without the need to expose yourself already to a real conversation. Also, it's useful because memorization is a really challenging task and it will force you to be fully attentive, to be fully focused. Repeatedly memorizing video does not only allow us to learn the meanings and the pronunciations, but also use the learned words and phrases in context and build our own sentences. By consistently reviewing the material and reviewing by shadowing, we give our brain the chance of drawing from those sentences and phrases while having a real conversation. Shadowing will also improve greatly your pronunciation, intonation and rhythm. It's one of the best ways, if not the best way, to work on your accent. It just depends on the language. So if the language is too different from your mother tongue or the other languages you are already speaking, it can definitely make sense to have first some groundwork done by studying the IPA and really get a sense of the language and practice specific sounds. And I've already made a video about that and I will also link it somewhere here. Another advantage of using one single video for vocabulary practice is the convenience it provides. By focusing on the words and phrases of a single script, it's easier for us to reinforce and review our active vocabulary on a daily basis. The power of repetition is also a key factor. If you want to have active vocabulary, it definitely makes sense to review one video or one script over and over again. Especially at the beginning this is true because we first need to get the basic comprehension built up, which is why I'm using, for example, the link mini stories and listen to them over and over and over again in order to really ingrain them into my mind. Eventually we still need to consume massive amounts of comprehensible and compelling input in order to enable us to understand a wide variety of different topics, and to be a good conversational partner. First, choose one video in your target language and memorize the first 10 minutes or the whole video if it's not too long. About an area of life that's important to you in specific, So it should be something that you would regularly speak about. So probably don't try to memorize a video about rocket science if you are not a rocket scientist, or if you are not generally really interested in science or in physics and want to talk about it on a regular basis. Okay, so I've created a Notion page in order to make the progress more visible. Let's start. Divide the video into 30-second sections and practice shadowing the first section 10 times. Nou, een nieuwe aflevering van EasyDutch.
Ik sta hier met Linus en...
Ik sta hier met Linus.
Linus, wat doen we vandaag?
En Linus, wat doen we vandaag?
Nou, veel van onze kijkers die hebben al door dat je naast Nederlands...
Nou, veel van onze kijkers die hebben al door dat je naast Nederlands...
nog een heleboel andere talen spreekt.
Nog een heleboel andere talen spreekt.
Ze vroegen zich af hoe je dat voor elkaar hebt gekregen.
Ze vroegen zich af hoe je dat voor elkaar hebt gekregen.
Ik ga je dus vandaag interviewen.
Ik ga je dus vandaag interviewen.
En jij gaat daar wat meer over vertellen.
En jij gaat daar wat meer over vertellen.
Oké, nou laten we beginnen.
Oké, nou laten we beginnen. Hallo iedereen, goed dat je weer kijkt naar een nieuwe aflevering van EasyDutch. Ik sta hier met Linus en Linus, wat doen we vandaag? Oké, veel van onze kijkers die hebben al door dat je naast Nederlands nog een heleboel andere talen spreekt. Ze vroegen zich af hoe je dat voor elkaar hebt gekregen. Ik ga je dus vandaag interviewen en jij gaat daar wat meer over vertellen. Oké, nou laten we beginnen. Repeat each line of the section for 1 minute each. After completing one repetition, review all the previous repetitions up to the most recent one. Hallo iedereen en goed dat je weer kijkt naar een nieuwe aflevering van EasyDutch. Hallo iedereen en goed dat je weer kijkt naar een nieuwe aflevering van EasyDutch. For recitation, start at the beginning of the section and recite as much as you can remember. If you get stuck on a line, look it up and start again until you reach the next line. Hallo iedereen en goed dat je weer kijkt naar een nieuwe aflevering van EasyDutch. Ik sta hier met Linus en Linus, wat doen we vandaag? Nou, veel van onze kijkers... Hallo iedereen en goed dat je weer kijkt naar een nieuwe aflevering van EasyDutch. Ik sta hier met Linus en Linus, wat doen we vandaag? Nou, veel van onze kijkers die hebben al door dat je naast Nederlands nog een heleboel andere talen spreekt. Hallo iedereen en goed dat je weer kijkt naar een nieuwe aflevering van EasyDutch. Ik sta hier met Linus en Linus, wat doen we vandaag? Nou, veel van onze kijkers hebben al door dat je naast Nederlands nog een heleboel andere talen spreekt. Ze vroegen zich af hoe je dat voor elkaar hebt gekregen. For completion, recite the entire section from memory 10 times before moving on to the next section. Van onze kijkers die hebben al door dat je naast Nederlands nog een heleboel andere talen spreekt. Ze vroegen zich af hoe je dat voor elkaar hebt gekregen. Ik ga je dus vandaag interviewen en jij gaat daar wat meer over vertellen. Oké, nou laten we beginnen. Hallo iedereen en goed dat je weer kijkt naar een nieuwe aflevering van EasyDutch. Ik sta hier met Linus en Linus, wat doen we vandaag? Nou, veel van onze kijkers hebben al door dat je naast Nederlands nog een heleboel andere talen spreekt. Ze vroegen zich af hoe je dat voor elkaar hebt gekregen. Ik ga je dus vandaag interviewen en jij gaat daar wat meer over vertellen. Oké, nou laten we beginnen. As a daily maintenance activity, recite each of the previously practiced sections at least 5 times, before starting on the current day's material.
Hey Tim, ik sta al te wachten. Kunnen we beginnen? Ja.
We should work on our active and passive vocabulary by using shadowing and memorizing of single pieces of content on the one hand, and also consuming massive amounts of comprehensible and compelling input on the other hand. This way we can improve our comprehension, pronunciation, accent and speaking abilities tremendously. Please let me know in the comments if you like this approach or if you have used already something similar. And also, if you found the video useful, please leave me a like and a subscription to the channel, and to not miss anything going forward, click on the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching and see you the next time.